residents. Now they're dispersing the crowd. They're throwing out flashbangs.
Okay, this is going to be a very important story about Portland, and it's exclusive. We have been working very hard for this story, and I'm finally going to show you what's going on. One of the residents who lives across the street from the ICE building sent me this document to show everyone they are not even allowed to have guests come to their home. This is how bad it's getting, and there's some other stuff we're going to uncover.
We are going to be held to the same standard as Antifa, because I know for a fact the people that live in this building, because I've talked to them all day long, they are actually upset of all the tear gas, all the rioting, everything else that's going on inside that building. So,
guys, this was not planned. I was going to make a video exposing how bad it is for the residents inside this building. All of a sudden, an ex-Special Forces member is going to be setting up his own camp outside of this building to see whether or not the Portland police is going to arrest him, or if the Portland police will take down the encampment across the street that's been there for months. And I'm going to prove that. We talked about it 2 months ago. I told you guys this is going to be a good video. Now, before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, and it also helps others see the videos as well. We have been covering this story every single day since day one, and it's because of you guys. All of the people who have been begging for help are finally getting the help. So let's continue the momentum. Like the video, comment, and share. Let's get the story out there so everyone can see what's going on.
Been assaulted here, and we're live, right? We got it. Okay. So now you're gonna get assaulted. You're gonna be pushed. You're gonna be. Don't do that. Where'd it go? I don't know, man. I got you.
Okay, so once again, journalist Nick Sorter was attacked. Now, if you guys recognize Nick Sorter, he's the one who was arrested by the Portland Police Department. Even though he was attacked by Antifa, they still arrested him. Now, Nick Sorter proved a really good point. There's this encampment across the street from the building we'll be talking about, and for some reason, they've just been able to sit there for the last several months. In fact, 2 months ago, I made a video about this same encampment, and for some reason the police have just always let it be there. The woman who's suing the city of Portland for the police not doing their job, or the city of Portland not doing their job of taking care of these protesters, she's just filming them herself and showing everyone cars are showing up with supplies, and these new camps just move a few inches over, and they rebuild these camps in less than 24 hours after they get taken down. Yeah, so 2 months ago, when nobody cared about this story, I was reporting on that same exact encampment where Nick Sorter was attacked. So make sure to please subscribe to my channel so you guys can get the most accurate updates on this story. But also, my mission is to help the people inside of this building, and they are finally getting the help and the attention they deserve.
Hey, what's going on, America? I know you guys just saw my video with Nick Sorter getting assaulted trying to walk down the street by Antifa. So here's what we're gonna do, because the Portland police, I don't think it matters if you want to walk down the street. Antifa's allowed to own this side of the street over here. These are alleged medic tents. So this is what we're gonna do tomorrow. Tomorrow, this side of the street is going to belong to us, because apparently you can just claim sidewalks in Portland as your own and prevent anybody from moving down them.
And by the way, this was not planned. I don't even think Matt Tardio even knows who I am. So I am glad he is finally down there and showing everyone that, hey, there are sidewalks that are just completely blocked off. And for the residents who live in this building, it's not fair. They're the ones suffering all the consequences. Again, go follow this man. He's also an ex-Special Forces veteran, so I think he knows what he's doing down here. Check out the rest of this video.
So my curiosity is simply whether or not we are going to be held to the same standard as Antifa, because I know for a fact the people that live in this building, because I've talked to them all day long, they are actually upset of all the tear gas, all the rioting, everything else that's going on inside that building. So,
and that is the perfect segue, Matt. Again, that's going to be tonight as I make this video. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I hope everything is peaceful. Now, here is the document that was sent to me by one of those residents. This has been verified and fact-checked by other journalists as well, helping me with this story. I'm not going to be giving away any personal information, nothing like that. And let me tell you something. The residents who live across the street, they are terrified to to even send me anything like this because they don't want to get attacked or hurt from any of these protesters. So again, this is from Community Safety at Gray's Landing. This is the building we're talking about. Dear residents, the safety and well-being of everyone at Gray's Landing is our highest priority. We are living through unprecedented times, and it is more important than ever that we come together as a community to look out for one another. I completely agree. I want everybody to look out for one another, and I want peace. But then here's what happens. To help protect all residents and staff, we ask that you do not bring guests into the building at this time. Imagine you're just an everyday citizen and you dial 911. You've been asking for help. You want the police to show up to calm this all down. This has been happening for over 100 days. And now you get a notice that says, hey, don't bring any guests over. We want to be clear. ICE and federal troops are not permitted in the building. Now, the reason why they're probably saying that is because there are some people in that building that have been raided before and have definitely been investigated for being in that building. And there are some people who have TikToks in that building who are live streaming this entire event. But then they say, however, if federal agents are actively pursuing someone who is entering the property, reach staff cannot interfere with their entry. So I'm going to leave it at that. Again, I want you guys to remember, this entire story is really about the people who have been begging for help. All of this tear gas has been seeping into the building, the loud noises constantly, and now they get slapped with a, hey, don't bring guests. Sorry.
I need umbrellas! Shutting down!
You're allowed to walk down the sidewalk in Portland, or else you're going to get jumped and pushed and shoved and assaulted.
Blocking the sidewalk. This is a public sidewalk, and they're blocking the sidewalk. Hey! 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 Let him go!
Okay, here's where things get interesting. Get ready for this. So the man who filmed all of that is this guy right here, Tommy Boy. Now, if you're unaware, Tommy Boy has become quite popular within the last few days because he's been arrested for defending himself. And once again, he got arrested for defending himself and Nick. And here's the arrest, but then watch what happens with the revenge against him.
Absolutely wild scene unfolding right outside the ICE facility. After Nick Sorter was trying to show what was happening inside the Antifa refueling tent, an absolute melee broke out.
I don't know, man. I got you.
Thomas Allen, he was been targeted all evening for wearing MAGA gear.
Yeah, Thomas, during multiple occasions, his hat was stolen. He's been pushed and shoved as well. So Thomas is already not that liked by the protesters. And again, one of the big accusations is, why does he keep getting arrested and not the people who keep putting their hands on him?
MAGA cap and wearing the Charlie Kirk shirt. He just got arrested. They just took his MAGA cap. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, so the person who did that did not get arrested. And that's in front of all of those peace police officers, or whatever they're called. The peace police officers, or the officers who are in charge of talking to everyone.
Whoa, whoa. Wow, you saved the MAGA cap. You saved it. All right, Thomas Allen's being escorted out by Portland PD. Allen's being targeted again by Antifa militants. They tried to steal his MAGA cap. Portland PD is arresting Thomas Allen. Wow. They're taking him in zip ties. So, again, this is the type of powder keg and ecosystem that has continued to explode out of control here in Portland. City officials continue to allow and enable this situation, and there's absolutely no end in sight.
And by the way, that was Cho Show, Frontlines TPUSA. Make sure to go follow Frontlines TPUSA. They do a lot of hardcore work. They get a lot of good footage, so thank you guys so much for them and what you guys do. Frontlines TPUSA. But again, this is what happened to Tommy Boy after all of this.
They did in my car while I was in jail. They came out here and broke all my windows, broke my mirrors, broke my lights.
Now, I do want to point out, this is what journalists who've been covering this story were very afraid of. Katie Davis Court and Honey Badger Mom Ryan, the people we've been covering since day one, this is what they fear. When they go in to film the story, they had to be very secretive and not let anyone know where their vehicle is. Because once you're away from the area of the ICE building, this could happen to you.
This is what they do. This is what they do. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew it. It's a piece of shit, but it's still my car. It's how I get to work. I swear to God, these people are scum of the earth. Scum of the earth. I'm so glad I knocked that piece of shit out. It's worth it to me. I'm over this car anyways. I need a new one. I gotta drive this fucker home now.
Yeah. So that happened to Tommy Boy. Again, for anybody who wants to go down to Portland, whatever your intentions are, and I hope it's to bring peace together, you have to be very, very careful. This is not a game. Tommy Boy was basically tracked. They knew where his car was. And again, you heard him say, I have no idea how they knew that. There are people always watching in this area. So you have to be very careful. Now, this is all from less than 24 hours ago. This is from Frontlines, TPUSA, and The Cho Show. Thank you guys so much for this footage and the hard work.
Whoa, Coke cans being thrown from the crowd. Cans, now they're dispersing the crowd. They're throwing out flashbangs. The smoke is now being deployed. And the flashbangs. Wow, ICE agents are running into the streets right now making arrests. Already multiple arrests. The gas masks are going on.
What about those people? No, back up. Sidewalk.
Yeah, so right now, a lot of journalists are showing up. A lot of people want to see what's going on, almost as if this is a spectacle. I'm going to be completely honest with you. My focus will always be on the aspect of the people who have been asking for help, but at the same time, we also have to see everything else that's going on. Remember, where do you think all of this smoke is going to go? It's going to go up into that apartment building, and this could have all been minimized if maybe the Portland police would just show up and, maybe calm everyone down. Now people are going to get federal charges, which will linger with them for the rest of their lives.
We're all being told to go on the sidewalk now. The officers are chasing ICE agents are chasing Antifa militants into the streets.
Now, one thing I do want to point out, the ICE agents, it looks like they want to be a little more careful of breaking that front line and running after protesters. Now, a few months ago, and we have plenty of videos of it, there would be like 2 ICE agents running all the way down the road, like hundreds of feet away from everybody else. We're not seeing too much of that. Now everybody moves in one solid big formation. So I just want to point out that seems to be a little bit different when it comes to the SOPs, standard operating procedures.
Powerful show of force this evening.
And again, there's that camp.
I want to set the scene again this evening. We're outside the Portland ICE facility. On the left over here, you have Antifa militants menacing the crowd of ICE officers. Here you've got patriots cheering and chanting.
And when did we ever see this a few months ago? Again, this is turning into something I never thought it would turn into. There's a lot of eyeballs on the story. And one thing Frontlines, TPUSA does really well is that they really cover all of this so we can see everything that's going on. So I really appreciate this commentary and footage. But we're seeing now right-leaning voters come and see what happens, left-leaning voters. We sort of have this mesh of people. And also some mainstream are starting to cover this as well.
Supporting these ICE agents as they're simply trying to do their jobs. We've seen multiple people taken into custody this evening.
And I definitely recognize some protesters we saw from months ago.
Wow, non-lethal rounds being shot from the roof right now to give the officers some clearance as they head back into the building.
Yep. Now, I don't know who filmed this, but this was an extremely viral moment of the night, and to be honest with you, I cannot believe this happened. This protester decided to literally attack a federal agent point blank. Can't believe this happened.
You are protecting pedophiles. You are protecting Get out of our city! Get out of our state! Get out of here, bitch! Get out of our state!
Yep, so that protester decided to hock a loogie on the federal agent, which is absolutely ridiculous. That is not what we want down here. These protesters have the right to protest, but not the right to do that. And that guy is going to be in some pretty big trouble. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, this Portland story has taken quite the turn, and I hope we head in a direction of peace. I am well aware as I make this video the National Guard has been blocked. I might make another video on that, so make sure to please subscribe because we will talk about that at some point. At some point, I do think there's going to be a federal surge. Way more federal agents in this area. But anyway, thank you guys for everything. God bless, and we'll see you all later.